sheet here. We're doing fire district first, right? Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Fire Rescue District Governing Body meeting. Today is Thursday, June 20th, 2019. It is 5:30 p.m. and we are in the city chambers. And I call it says 9 a.m. on this. It's a cheat sheet. So. And I call the Fire Rescue District special meeting to order. Those present with me are Commissioner Luke, Vice Mayor McDowell, myself, Mayor Hanks, Commissioner Emmerich. We have City Manager Lear, City Attorney Slayton, and our Deputy Clerk Taylor. We have
Garrison.
No, he's not here.
Oh.
We got Commander Fussell.
Oh, I was the
Sorry,
shoulder.
sir. Fussell there, and then I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Yep. You're representing tonight. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry.
Exciting for you guys.
Sorry, I do have Chief Titus. He's right over here.
He was sitting down or something. I mean,
Debbie did think you were Vanessa yesterday. I do remember.
remember that?
Whatever you need.
I appreciate that. Yeah, you're here to serve, sir. I appreciate it. Okay, if we could we please stand for the Pledge of
Oh,
Allegiance?
please, yes.
Chief Titus would lead us, that would be great.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
And second.
A motion on the floor by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Luke. Let's take it up. It is approved unanimously. We'll move on to our public hearing. I need a motion to read resolution number 2019 R11 by title only.
Mayor, before we do that, I do not have any public comment.
Well, I didn't see any, so.
Okay, well, I just, for the
Probably for the
record.
record, thank you. Okay.
I moved.
I'll second.
Got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Luke, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Let's take a vote. That passes unanimously. We're on a good roll.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Northport, Florida, as the governing body of the Fire Rescue District, establishing not to exceed non-ad valorem assessment rates for the Northport Fire Rescue District for the 2019-2020 fiscal year, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. After the budget workshops that we had this week, as you know, we must approve a not to exceed non-ad valorem assessment rate. And the rest will be addressed to the Vice Mayor. I'll thank you now. These, I want to keep in mind, these are the not to exceed rates. So the rates can only go down from here without starting the entire trim process over again. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to the Fire Chief, because I believe he's got something he'd like to say as well.
Very rarely do I ever, I'm sorry, Scott Titus from the Fire Rescue District, your Fire Chief. Very rarely do I ever add on a little bit what the city manager said, but the rate could actually stay the same as well. It doesn't have to go down.
That is true.
So, I just wanted to, as a quick summary for those who did not listen to the presentation of the workshop the other day, I think you all have been through this enough times and we've talked about where we are. A great analogy was given a couple of years ago about a balloon. You squeeze the balloon here, it gets bigger on this end. You squeeze it on this end, it gets bigger here. So one of the things that we've successfully accomplished over a number of years with Fire Rescue District was when we did have reserves, 2014, we did this with the permission and the grace of the commission at the time, the governing board, city manager, finance department. We did a strategic spend down of reserves. And That enabled our community to absorb some of the economic downturn, go through some things. Last year, we talked quite at great length about it, about this kind of kick the can down the road mentality. What happened was we did some just-in-time budgeting that got us through those difficult times. But what that did was we squeezed the balloon and made it lean in these early years, and that blew the balloon up here. So here we are, 2019, going into 2020, and again, we're asking for a relatively high rate that we don't like to ask for, and we still feel like there's a couple of years running at that. As you know, we work with a consultant every year, an independent service provider that looks at, they take the CAFR from last year, they look at all of those numbers, they look at what our plan is for the next 10 years. They look at our proposed budget for the year, and they tell us if we're living within our means, are those things that are important or not. With your direction, with city manager's recommendations, we lean that down over time, and we begin to figure out what are the needs of our community, what are the needs of the department, so that we can maintain our service level and provide our citizens the level of service that they've come to expect. Doing that through that process, one of the things that we've determined in the budget is that we've added a service area. So providing personnel at Station 8626, we talked last year, we went out, we got a grant, which helped us absorb the impact of those people over a 2-year period, which is phenomenal. It's still expensive to do that. And we've got another station coming out, probably 2024, 2023, I think is what we have it pegged for now. If that happens, great. If not, if we can bump it out a little bit, and we can make better use of that money, we will absolutely do that. With those things being said, as a reminder, talking about squeezing that balloon, if we had started in 2014 and just done a 3% escalation every year, which is somewhat of a mild increase, our rates for 2020 would be $86.12 for Tier 1 and $5.54 for a Tier 2. At our 10% not to exceed, we're at $86.45 and $5.56 for Tier 2. We would have been pretty close with a 3% climb instead of looking at a 10% not to exceed. Our goal, and one of the things that we've talked about with the consultant and with you all, last year we changed the fund balance policy, which has helped us absorb some of this. We appreciate that. We're still looking at difficulty. We want to make sure that we can absorb all those personnel when they come on in that third year. So going through the budget, we presented to you tonight a not to exceed rate of 10%. One of the things that I think I met with each one of you briefly today, and I got with the city clerk, the Appendix A that you have is incorrect. Those numbers are wrong, so I wanted to make sure I have copies here. If everybody would like a copy, the city clerk has the appropriate one. I'm not sure how she'd like me to do that. The correct rates for 10% not to exceed would be $86.45 for Tier 1, and for Tier 2 would be $5.56. So for an average residential single-family home, our rate would be going from, their assessment would be going from $230.09 a year to $253.25. So the yearly difference there would be $23.16.
Can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Average residential single-family home on a quarter-acre lot in Lakeside, excuse me, not even quarter, 0.14 acre lot in Lakeside Plantation would go from $230.09 to $253.25 for a change of $23.16 for the year increase. A vacant residential lot would be an increase of $7.86 per year. With that, I'm available for any questions that you have.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, and this is just for the record information, since the public doesn't have the access to the changes that were made to Appendix A. Could you please state what those changes are?
Yes, absolutely. So the adopted rate was listed incorrectly on Appendix A. The adopted rate for fiscal year 2018-2019 was listed as $79.32 for Tier 1 and $5.10 for Tier 2. The actual and appropriate adopted rate for fiscal year 2018-2019 is $78.59 for Tier 1 and $5.05 for Tier 2.
Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have for you.
Thank you. I have no other buttons pushed. Okay. lost everything. Hold on, I'm sorry. Who's making the motion?
I
Go
am.
ahead, Vice Mayor, I lost everything, I'm sorry.
Mayor, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve Resolution 2019 R-11, setting the not-to-exceed rate to no more than 10%.
We have a motion on the floor.
I'll go ahead and
For a second.
second that.
Motion on the floor by Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Luke. Vice Mayor? Anything to that?
With the understanding that this is a not-to-exceed, that means that it cannot go any higher. But I am confident it will be going lower as we approach the next round of budget talks. So, because this is a not-to-exceed, I'm okay with this, with the understanding that we're going to have it lower. So,
Commissioner Luke, do you have anything?
confident.
She was really generous, so I just went ahead and seconded it. Because actually, I was going to make the motion to be 9%. You did it to yourself. You said you can do it at 9%, so I expect it to come back at least lowered to the 9. So, nah.
First man to put forth a number.
Thank you. Yeah, don't tell me you're going to save money or cut money, because I'll take advantage of it.
No, it's
Well, and if I may speak to that, just to let you know, as we said at the workshop, so when we started early on, we were very conservative. So from our first budget submission, even before it went to the city manager, that we just did with finance, from that submission to the city manager's submission, we've cut almost $900,000 out of the budget. City manager made some more changes. We feel like and now we've gotten in some much better numbers. We won't have our final numbers in for revenue until July, but we're confident that we're much closer than we were. As I told you in the workshop, I believe that we can make it at 9%.
Or lower.
Even doing 9%, I will tell you now, I do what you all give me to do, and I have to work within those means, and I understand that. We'll go back to that squeeze the balloon mentality, though. I've already talked to Stantec and the consultant. I already told him that we said we think we can get through with the 9%. That already raises what his recommendation would be for the following year by 1%. Because again, remember, it's that expanded use of money on down the road. We're trying to absorb the cost of these positions at the same time as we're absorbing everything else that's going up, and we didn't have those, stabilization reserves. So I'm confident we can get there, but I just want to make sure that everybody understood that. And I'm not ever going to ask for more money than I think we need to be successful to do and maintain the level of service that we have, and I appreciate everybody's support.
The Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I'm confident, Chief, that you'll be able to sharpen your pencils and find some areas that can be trimmed. I'm not saying cut, but some areas that can be trimmed. So look forward to the next round of budget talks.
And I would also like to say, all joking aside, our fire chief and his staff and everybody, you guys really take it to the next level. And, whether it's our ISO Class 1, but even in the budget aspects, that just gives a recognition to how great our fire department is. We are one of the best in the country. And that is not because they say so, it's because of what you guys do. And I never have a doubt that whether we have a do not exceed 10 or do not exceed 8 or do not exceed 4, that you are not working your tail off to try to make sure that you get below that. Because you guys are phenomenal. You guys are fiscally responsible, and I thank you for it. You make our jobs easy, and you make us look good, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Emmett?
Yeah, I just had a couple things to sort of go over with you. You said if we were continuing to do the 3% year and year and year, we'd be about right where you're projecting to go to. But since we didn't, we're playing catch up. But we would have been paying that all along if we would have done it the correct way. Okay. My second question was the 2316. That was the impact of the tax base per individual per year? Is that what you stated?
Yes, I'm sorry, please forgive me. As the motion was made, I began stacking my papers.
I see that. We ain't done yet, sir. Almost.
No, we're okay. Yes, $23.16 for that residential single family on 0.14 acres in Lakeside Plantation. That $23.16, that's an annual increase. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, not gonna gamble one life on $23.
All right. So, we have a
Thank you,
motion
sir.
on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Commissioner Luke.
every bit of joking or picking at you about what you stated during that aside. I admire the way that you do approach a budget, and you try to make it as high a quality at that best price, and I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And one of the things that I didn't say that I really should have said, you all mentioned it, but we have a phenomenal staff. I could not do this. They're not all here
Oh, we
tonight,
know.
but there's a lot of people doing amazing things. I'm just their voice, and sometimes that's why I'm so emphatic, because I know if I fail to convey what's important to you all and don't do what we need, I've failed them. But they're really doing the things.
And that's the hard attitude right there. Perfect, thank you. sir.
Everybody's working together.
Okay, let's take a vote.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
I think I got a prediction.
I do too.
It passes unanimously. Okay. Have any public comment? Vice Mayor?
Nothing.
All right, well, we did communication earlier today, did we not? I'm just checking down the board. Okay, we're not going to do that. Administrative and legal, you had your chance earlier, so we're adjourned. Thank you. Whenever you're ready, Ms. Taylor. Already? I thought it took like 5 minutes. Whoa. Jeez, you're fast.
I'll just wait right here.
Here we go. All right, welcome this afternoon to the Solid Waste District Governing Body Meeting. Today is Thursday, June 20th, and it is 5:46 p.m., and we are in the city chambers. I call this Solid Waste District Special Meeting to order. Those present with me here are Commissioner Luke, Vice Mayor McDowell, myself, Mayor Hanks, Commissioner Remrich. I have City Attorney Slayton, City Manager Lear, Deputy Clerk Taylor, and I have Chief Titus back there, and we got Mr. Fussell there in the back. I didn't forget now, my friend. Awesome. So we said the Pledge of Allegiance in our last one, so we're going to move on to the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Luke. Let's take the vote. No, I got to refresh mine.
You're gonna have
Oh,
to
wait,
do it-
I'm
You're
out
gonna
of
have to
the,
do it manually.
Oh, we gotta go back. That's right.
yeah, you got to.
If you hit,
You were so quick, I forgot all about doing this.
You know, it's got me joining fire rescue.
I did it. I got it, sir.
There you go.
Okay, so moved.
And seconded.
Sorry.
All right, let's take the vote.
Yes, it's working.
I'll make a motion to read it by title only.
All right.
Second.
Hold on. That passes unanimously. Now on to the public hearing.
There you go.
Move to read it by title only.
I'll second.
Vote. And that passes unanimously. All right, City Clerk.
We do not have any public comment, Mayor.
Did I not mention that a minute ago? Oh, thank you.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Northport, Florida, as the governing body of the Solid Waste District, establishing not to exceed non-ad valorem assessment rates for the Northport Solid Waste District for the 2019-2020 fiscal year, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution being brought to you all with a rate of $2.49. This is a return to our old rate that we dropped this past year. Ms. Belia is here to answer any questions you may have, and I'll turn it over to her real quick.
Okay. Thank you, City Manager. Thank you, Commissioners. This evening before you is a not-to-exceed rate resolution. The Solid Waste District, we have been providing, we try to provide the utmost service to the residents and our commercial customers. We are going to be seeing several increases, our increase in commercial collection, tipping fees, fuel costs, fleet costs, contractual services, and capital acquisition fund. With that, we are doing our best to make sure we get the trash, the yard waste, recycling, everything off the street every single day. So with that, we are requesting an 8% increase, which equates to 36.5 cents per week and about $19 per year, and going from $230 to $249 per year. Are there any questions?
Vice Mayor?
Only question is, I know that this is setting it for residential, and we're increasing residential. When will we see increases for commercial? Is that going to come when we do our fee study?
I'm going to defer that question to Frank Lama, the solid waste manager.
Frank Lama, Solid Waste Manager. Thanks for having me here tonight. The commercial gets looked at each year. So each year we look at the fees and see if they need to increase. And we'll do that again next year.
When are we going to do that for this year?
This year we did look at the fees and the fees that should not increase on the commercial, just the residential.
They are actually, if this helps, they are in two separate buckets.
Right.
We do have to look, and we can only charge the commercial for the fees and charges specifically associated with commercial use. So those are evaluated annually. Solid Waste has looked at them. If there were an opportunity, if you're looking for where the opportunity is to address those fees, it's during the citywide fee ordinance, which will come to you all in July.
Excellent.
But
Thank you so
Staff
much.
has not recommended any changes to those for this year.
And if I may, just little numbers here. From last year to this year, commercial roll-offs are up 10%. Residential roll-offs are up 20%. Commercial compactors, they are up 4%, and residential compactors are up 17%. So as you can see, the residential is still, this is a bedroom community, this is it. More residential than commercial right now, so,
Gotcha. Thank you.
sure.
Ready for a motion? Move to approve resolution number 2019-R-12, establishing the solid waste district not to exceed non-ad valorem assessment rate for fiscal year 2020 at $249.
Second?
A motion on the floor by Commissioner Luke, seconded by Vice Mayor. Anything to that, Commissioner Luke?
Yes, I appreciate that. It wasn't just last year it was cut, it's been 2 years that it was lowered to that 230. Last year was horrendous with recycling, and we ate all of that charge when things happened. We did not put an increase out like other communities did, charging their consumer. So doing this sets it a little bit better for our department, for our city. So I am fine with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, this is just going back to the way it was a few years ago, which is still considerably lower than it was 10 years ago. So with all the costs that keep rising, this is one that we're still lower than where we were 10 years ago. So props to you and your department, and thank you for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Julie, you, Frank, your staff, again, phenomenal. Like, just, it, I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories that go on out there, that we're just trying to throw this stuff away. Well, here's a perfect example of an opportunity to increase, and it wasn't done. And I want to thank you for that, because you guys do honestly have a heart for this city. You are looking at the best possible scenarios to be able to lower the burden upon the taxpayer, and I do greatly thank you for that. Even if you don't get that sentiment elsewhere sometimes, please take it from us. We greatly appreciate all of you, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Emmert, you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, just to add on to that, all of the community output that you put out there, your videos, your education, yeah, they're entertaining, but they are educational, and they're fun to watch. I mean, you've seen what the results were on your first Christmas video to your second. People were waiting for that stuff to come out. It's awesome, and to be in the sanitation industry and still having that lighthearted atmosphere at work, it's grueling out there. It's hot, it's tough. I know the guys suffer, ladies too, but it's awesome. And look at the attitudes. It's heartwarming to have that representation in the city. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, let's take a vote. Well, make a prediction that it is unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to public comment.
Got nothing for you, Mayor.
Commission communications, is there anything you'd like to say, Ms. Luke, for communication, or did you say it this morning?
No, just a reflection, what we're doing and what we're involved in, and this is serious stuff. I had a little talk with, what I was trying to communicate during the meeting. I had a little talk with the city manager afterwards, and last year, that budget absorbed in a whole lot of growth because this commission has really established a lot higher level of service for a growing community. And just some numbers to throw out, this budget is $5.5 million more than what we were looking at last year. So added to that is $5.5 million, but the income, the property, is 2% less than it was last year. The budget last year absorbed the partial year of the pool. It absorbed what we did for the employees, the pay raises and stuff. We absorbed that. We absorbed insurance for the benefit. I mean, we made some choices up here on the dais and kind of held him to keep that budget, without budging it, kind of like what Chief Titus was talking about, if you do a little bit at a time, it doesn't hurt so much. And there might be some hurting going on this year that maybe we should have bit the bullet a little bit more last year. But time will tell. We'll work through this. But thank you again for an excellent week of crunching what we can. And I have no doubt that everybody within the city wants to do the best with the citizens' tax dollars. Thank you.
Mr. McDowell?
Yeah, I said a lot of comments during budget talks today, especially when it was during our discussion about the overall. We're not done yet. Today was just not to exceed. The budget that we reviewed was just proposed. There's another round that we're going to do of possibly doing more cuts. Hope we're doing more cuts. And get another look at it with more information that we asked for so we can make an educated decision for the second time around with that additional information. This is my third budget. And I have to say, I feel a little bit more confident in what I was doing and realized the mistakes that I made the past couple of years. And I own those, and I always will. But this budget cycle, we did a lot of stuff. We had a lot of great conversations, and we even had a few laughs. So thank you.
Can I speak one more thing? Level of service does cost. And
Absolutely.
to drop cost, you drop the level of service. And level of service oftentimes means staff. And it's the employee. You look for those little tidbits as much as you can, but when it comes down to it, oftentimes it's staff, and I don't like to even think of that. So, thank you.
Commissioner Image?
It was an awesome week, great experience. I look forward to coming back in July and doing some more good stuff.
Looking at all those numbers, hadn't fried your brain yet?
Nope, not yet.
All right,
Not
all right.
yet.
Thank you. I pretty much said what I was going to say. I just really wanted to lift up the staff and Mr. Leary, you too. Thank you very much, and all of our charter officers and your staff and all that, because they really make you look good, man.
It's a difficult task.
And you really need it. You really need it. No, I'm just kidding.
Over and beyond, are you kidding me?
Mr. Leary, do you have anything?
You guys have pretty much said everything. You're right.
What? That you're awesome.
That they are awesome.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you pointed that in the right direction.
Fact of the matter is, this is a team effort. You've heard me say over the years many times that we are a team, and the goal is to put together the best possible team. I thank all of the departments and everybody that worked on these budgets to help get us here. You know that we all try to do our best to be as fiscally responsible as possible. I have been called many things, including cheap. You have heard many times this week Well, yes, but the city manager didn't recommend that. It's not an easy task. The department directors ask for the things they need. Unfortunately, we do have to go through the process, and we can't always have the things that we request. It's not an easy task to go through that and tell somebody no, but we do the best we can, and I appreciate all the help they've given me to get to this point. So, thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney, you have anything? Okay, thank you. City Clerk? All right. Well, with that, we're adjourned. I saw the elbow.
I don't even know what you're talking about.